Hi and welcome to the third video for the Faeries sampler instructions. This video is going to be working on rows 21 through 30. We're going to do quite a few color changes in this particular video, much like we did on the last one. According to the instructions, it says to start with color C. So I am going to be using my color C. You are welcome to use whatever color makes you happy. Mine, I'm sticking to my color list only because I'm using my stash, but I'm trying to stick with a color theme, I guess. I always say that I'm going to go off the rails and just do whatever I want, but then my OCD kicks in and I have to stick to a color scheme. So I'm going to stick with my color C that I started with, which is this bone color. And so we are going to start with a chain 1 and 2 single crochets, and then 2 chains and 2 single crochets into our corner space. Now, we've already done a row much like this one before. This one is going to receive a single into every double crochet and every chain 1 space going across. This row down here did the exact same thing. So that was 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Row 7 was exactly the same as this row that we're doing here. This is another one of those good rows that has nice solid stitches, so you can catch your open piece on the back side so that you have less to weave in at the end. But go ahead and keep working these stitches all the way around. The pattern is going to repeat every time that you get to the corner. So you will put 2 single crochet, chain 2, 2 single crochet into the corner space, and then single into every stitch and chain 1 space going across. And you'll do that all the way around. When you get to over here, you're just going to slip stitch to this first single crochet, and you can go ahead and cut color C off, or whatever color you're working with, because we are going to move on to a different color when we come back. Okay, I have completed row 21. I slip stitched to my first single crochet, and now I'm going to start row 22 with color E, which is my multi-baby color. And I'm going to slip stitch into my chain 2 corner. Doesn't matter which one you join in. Chain 1, I'm going to do 1 single crochet, chain 2, 1 single crochet in that, in that corner space. All right, instructions say to skip a single crochet. That's going to be this first one here, and then we're going to single crochet into the next single crochet, and each one going across to the corner. This is another real simple row. All right, so I'm just going to stop here. Go ahead, finish up this row. The corners are going to receive single, chain 2 single, and then when you get around to this side, you're just going to slip to this first single, and you can go ahead and cut this color off as well, because we're only doing 1 round of that color. Alrighty, round 22 has been completed, and I slip stitched to my first single crochet. I hope that you remembered on each of your corners to skip that first single crochet of the side before moving on. If not, you might want to rip this back out and do that again, just because otherwise your numbers are probably going to be off. Okay, but if you're ready to move on, round 23, we're going on with color B, and that happens to be my lavender purple color. We're going to slip stitch to the chain 2, chain 1, and then we're going to single, chain 2, single in that corner. And now we're going to do a fun stitch on this one called the popcorn stitch. It can be a little bit tedious, depends on whether you love it or hate it, but this is going to add great texture to your blanket. All right, so we're going to single crochet into the first 4. So there's 1, 2, 3, and 4. And now a popcorn is double 5 times into the next single crochet. So 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Remove your hook from the loop. Go back to the first double crochet and go in through the top 2 loops and in through the loop you just let go and pull through. And that's you're actually gonna push that forward as you're going along, because we're going to single crochet into the next 4 stitches again. Don't do anything other than pull through there. Just don't chain 1 or do anything extra after. Just go ahead and move on. So I pulled through the top 2 loops and the loop that I let go, and now I'm moving on to single crochet in the next 4. 1, 2, 3, and 4. And I'm going to do a popcorn in the next stitch. So that's 1. Actually, I'm going to catch that guy in there. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Remove your hook, go back to your first double crochet, go through the top 2 loops, pick up that loop that you let go, and pull through all 3, and then go right into the next stitch and single crochet. So you can see how this particular stitch is going to add a great deal of texture to your blanket. We are going to go back over this, over the top of this, but we're going to switch colors again after we're done with our bobble row to kind of sandwich it between 2 colors. It's just kind of cute that way. So go ahead and keep going. So that's 1, 2, 3, and 4, and then popcorn, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Remove your hook, top of the first into that loop, pull through, and then go right into the next one. Now, like I said, you're either going to love or hate this stitch. I used to hate it. I've actually kind of fallen in love with it over the years. It does make you stop and have to, you know, kind of fiddle with extra things. But I like the effect of a popcorn stitch so much that I'm willing to do a little bit of extra work to get the look that I want. So while this might seem a little tedious to have to constantly remove your hook and reinsert it, it makes for a really great texture. Alrighty, so this is going to be your round all the way through. Now when you get to this other corner over here, this repeat is going to be a total of 12 times. So you should have 4 left on your row after you complete your last popcorn for the side. So you're just going to single into the last 4 stitches, and then you're going to do your corner again, which is going to be single, chain 2, single, and then you're just going to start right into the next side of popcorns, which is going to be single and 4 popcorn, single and 4 popcorn, all the way across. All right, I will meet you back over here, and then you can go ahead and cut off, because we are going to change our color back to this color that we used here, which for me was E and was the multi baby color that I am using. All right. Alrighty, I finished round 23 and I've got all my popcorns in place, and I slip stitched to my first single crochet. I'm gonna go ahead and move my corner over here, and I'm going to rejoin with my color E, which is that baby multi that I'm working on. Obviously you can do whatever color you want, and I'm going to, this is going to be another really simple row. So we're going to just join in our chain 2, chain 1, single crochet, chain 2, and single crochet in the same corner space. All right, so here we are going to, and I'm going to be catching up my little piece here too, so that I don't have to tuck it in. And we're single crocheting into every single crochet going across, as well as the popcorns, and I'll show you where to single crochet into that popcorn. So I went into the first 5 stitches, and now on the popcorn here, there's a loop here. You could go into the popcorn itself, so you can choose which one. I tend to go right into that middle space. This is the hole that our popcorn created when we went through the 2 loops over here and the loop that we let go. So I go right into the popcorn itself and put my single crochet, just because it kind of centrally locates the whole thing, because the next thing you're going to do is go right into that next single crochet, and there's 4 in between each popcorn, so 3, 4. Make sure that you don't accidentally miss the one before or the one after. You want to make sure that you're still putting a single crochet into the 4 going in across, and then also go right into the center of that popcorn and single, and then into the 1, 2, 3, and 4, and then into the popcorn. I also find that if I go right into the center of the popcorn, it kind of helps make my popcorn stand up straight. Because as you can see, before I put my single crochet in the center, it kind of like leans over to the side a little bit. This helps to straighten up your popcorn and just keep it in one spot. All right, so keep going around. I'm going to put a single crochet into every single and every popcorn. Your corners are all going to receive single crochet, chain 2, single crochet. You're not skipping any stitches on this round or anything like that. So once you get back over here to this single crochet, go ahead and slip stitch to join, and then you can go ahead and cut off this color, because we're going to be changing one more time. All right, I completed round 24. I'm ready to move on to round 25. I'm going to be using color D, which is my kind of blue gray heather color. Join with any corner space, single crochet, chain 2, and single crochet in that corner space. Then go ahead and chain 1, skip 1, single crochet in the next. And you're going to do that a total of 34 times going across this side of the blanket. And actually each side is going to receive the same treatment, of course. And when you get over to this corner, it's not going to have an even number of chain 1 spaces. So you're going to single crochet into this last single crochet right before the corner. Don't put a chain 1 or anything after that. Just go right into the corner. So you're going to have 2 on this end, and then you're going to have a skip 1 on this side with a chain. Alrighty, just make sure that you've got 36 single crochet on each side. You should only have a total of 34 chain 1 spaces across each of your sides, 36 single crochets in all. And then this is what I was talking about on that corner. Just single into that last and then go right into the corner. All right, continue this around. Each side is going to behave exactly the same way as this first side did. Make sure that you slip stitch to this first single crochet. Don't cut this color, because we're going to do another round in it. All right, at the end of round 25 and moving on to round 26, we're just going to slip stitch to the corner, chain 2 space, and chain 1. Now we're going to single, chain 2, and single into the corner space. And then we're going to do the same thing that we just got done doing, basically, except this time we're going to go into the chain 1 spaces. So we're chain 1, skipping a single, and going into the chain 1 space. And that's going to continue all the way across. And then when we get to the other side by the corner, we are going to go ahead and skip those 2 single crochets, treat it like 1. So you'll single in here, chain 1, skip these 2, and then do your corner. Alrighty? And then when you get over here to your first single crochet, go ahead and slip stitch into that first one and cut this color off because we're going to be changing colors and working a new one. Alrighty, finished round 26 and I'm slip stitching to the first single crochet of that round and pulling through. Okay, so we're going to move on to working the pattern. Says color D, so just get whatever color you're using next and get yourself situated with a corner. We're going to work on round 27 now. Okay, this is going to be familiar. We're going to be kind of sticking with some stitches that we already know, but go ahead and join in your corner. And then we're going to be doing a chain 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Now this is going to count as a 1, 2, 3. This is a double crochet, and then this is counting as a chain 2. So we're going to just double crochet into that same corner space. So it's as if we have done a double crochet, chain 2, double crochet in that corner. All right, so now we're going to start with our repeat across the side. We're going to chain 1. We're going to skip a single crochet and double crochet into the next chain 1 space, and it says for a total of 35 times. You should have 35 chain 1 spaces going across. So we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30, 31, 32, 33, 34, and 35. Okay, so I'm going to be ending up here in this chain 1 space, and then when you get to this corner, you're going to chain 1, skip this last single crochet here, and double crochet, chain 2, double crochet in the corner as you go. All right, so this is a fairly simple repeat. It's much like what we just were doing, only we're doing double crochets in the chain 1 space and not single crochets. And our corners are going to be double crochet, chain 2, double crochet instead of single. All right, so this is the only round we're doing with this color. Once you reach this side, go ahead and slip stitch with this chain 3 right here. The 1, 2, 3rd chain is where our double crochet is. So slip stitch there, and you can go ahead and cut this color off. I will rejoin you as we're getting to the end here, and we're going to switch colors again. All right, we're done with round 70, or I'm sorry, not 78, 27. Don't know where I get that number from. Okay, go ahead and cut that color off. We are going to switch over to color F. For me, that is going to be my multi-blue color here. We are going to join in the corner chain 2 space like we have been doing. Excuse me while I clean up my yarn here. All right, an open corner space. We are going to chain 1 and then we're going to do 2 single crochets. Scoot that over. Chain 2, 2 single crochets in that corner chain 2 space. Now we are going to single crochet in every double crochet and chain 1 space going across. So this is something we've done 3 or 4 times now. So into the single, into the chain 1, etc., etc., all the way across. That little piece just wants to get in there, so I'm gonna let it. All right, there, and then keep going. You're going to be putting 2 single crochets, chain 2, 2 single crochets into each of your corners. Your sides are going to be strictly single crochet in your double crochets and chain 1 spaces going across. We are going to not be cutting after this. We're going to be continuing with this color after we're done with round 28. As a matter of fact, I believe this color, Yes, is going to take us through round 30, which is going to be our last row for this video. So the next 3 rows, 28, 29, and 30, are all going to be this color. So make sure you've got enough to do, I believe we're doing bobble stitches on this one, so which uses up a little bit. It's similar to a popcorn, but a little bit different. So you're going to need to have enough yarn to complete either that, or my suggestion to you is use this color here and then for round 30, but do a different color for the second one if you think you're not going to have enough of your yarn to make it through all 3 rounds. Alrighty, so don't cut off when you get over here. Just slip stitch to your first single crochet, and then we'll start on round 28, or I'm sorry, 29. Okay, I'm going to take my own advice, and I'm going to use a separate color for my bobble row, and I'm going to go back to this color for row 30 because I don't think that I'm going to have quite enough to do the whole 3 rows. So I am going to turn my work and join in the corner space because we would just be slip stitching into the chain 2 space over here anyway, so I'm not really changing it up that much. So in this corner chain 2 space, we're going to chain 5 again. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Once again, that's going to act as a double crochet and a chain 2. So we're going to double into that same space. Then we are going to double into the next single crochet. We're going to chain 1. We're going to skip a single crochet. And then we're going to bobble single stitch into the next. So the bobble stitch goes like this. You insert, I should say yarn over, insert, pull up, yarn over, insert, pull up, yarn over, insert, pull up, all 3 times, and then pull through all the loops on your hook. Chain 2. Okay, double into the next, and then we're going to chain 1 after the double crochet, skip 1, bobble into the next, which is yarn over, insert your hook, pull up, yarn over, insert, pull up, yarn over, insert, pull up, and then through all the loops. This first chain basically closes off that bobble. This next chain is going to function as the actual chain, like the chain 1 that happens between the double and the bobble. So we're chaining 2 after the bobble, skipping 1 and doing a double crochet. After the double crochet, we're chaining 1, skipping a single, and then doing the bobble. All right, so bobble, chain 2, skip a single, and double. After double, chain 1, skip a single, and bobble. And I will meet you at the next corner because I want to do this corner with you. All right, we're at the corner. I just wanted to show you that you're going to end up with a bobble as your last of the repeat over here. So skip this one, and then it says to double crochet into the last single crochet. Don't chain anything after your double crochet. Just go ahead and put your double, chain 2, double into your corner. All right, and then you will go ahead and double into the next single crochet. So it's going to give you 2 doubles on both sides of the corner. You'll end up exactly the same way over here because you'll end up with a double in this last single crochet here. So go ahead and continue to work this. You should have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19 bobbles per side of the blanket. If you've changed your color like I did, then you can, after this row, cut it off and change it back to the color that you used here. Otherwise, if you've stayed with the same color, don't worry about cutting anything off because we have 1 more row to do. That'll be row 30. That'll finish up this video as well as complete this particular section because we'll be basically closing off this open chaining area on the next round. It's going to be a lot like this one where we're just single crocheting into each of the chain spaces and into each of the stitches going across. All right, so go ahead and finish this up. I'll see you at the end of this row. Alrighty, I have finished round 29, and I'm going to, I already cut off this color because remember I changed in between. I'm going back to my other color so that I can sandwich this bright purple in between the blues. Alrighty, so in our corner chain 2 space, chain 1, single, chain 2, single. Now if you did not change your color and you went ahead and joined with the chain 3 space here, or the third chain, go ahead and just slip stitch into the chain 2 space and start your corner there. You don't have to disconnect or cut this off and restart somewhere else. Just make sure you're over in the corner before you start. And now we are going to single crochet into each double crochet and chain 1 space and bobble. Okay, so we're going to treat the chain 2 spaces after the bobble as a chain 1 space, because as you can see, when we did that first chain, it closed off that bobble and actually kind of made the stitch. So we're going to use that chain as the bobble, and then we're going to go into, there we go. Okay, go into the next chain 1. So just in every chain space, treat it like it's a chain 1, crochet into the top of the bobble and into the top of the double crochets going across. And then this is what it's going to look like as you go. You should have, let's see, 324 single crochets in total at the end of this round. Slip stitch to the first single crochet when you get there, and I will see you over here and we'll finish off this video. All right, end of round 30. I'm gonna go ahead and cut that color off, and you can get your next color ready for round 31. I'll see you in the next video.